make sure all this amazing technology is working. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome again. My name is Vanessa Simpkins, the Bikini Business Coach. Welcome to this live training, how to stop feeling like a fraud, how to break through any internal resistance you might have about charging what you're worth. Hands down, one of the biggest topics that we cover with new coaches. Vanessa, I'd love to charge $3,000 for my high-end program or $5,000, but. So I want to talk with you guys today about how to break through this feeling like a fraud. I'm not Tony Robbins, who would pay me that much syndrome. And very much the learning without ever earning syndrome. If you don't break through this, you won't make it as a coach online simply because of the nature of advertising today. It will cost you too much money to acquire a client. You cannot compete with the 2001, 2002 online marketing where people, charge $37 for some kind of a membership site. That type of business model doesn't work anymore. So I want to share with you guys how we're able to help our clients, attract and enroll their first $3,000, $5,000 coaching sale online. And we do that consistently every single month here in our 10K and 30-day program.com. It's the name of the website. You can check it out. It's an online 8-week mastermind bootcamp. You get to work with me and our entire team. Last month, we did over $250,000, $250,000 in sales online. Isn't that crazy? So do you think we have a thing or two to share with you on how to get this right? Well, I hope so, because we really do. And specifically, we work with new coaches that have taken a lot of coaching certifications. They take trainings, and they still struggle. And this is one of the reasons why. So I'm going to start with three keys on how to break through your resistance to charging what you're worth and get over this feeling like a fraud thing. Let me know if you guys have any questions here for me. Drop your questions here in the chat, and I'll cover them as we continue. So number one, if you want to charge it with your worth, you need to understand two things. Number one, you need to understand the problems that your service solves for a profit. So if you're a weight loss coach, what are the problems that you solve for profit for your clients? Or if you're a business coach, or if you're a breakthrough coach, if you're a mindset coach, what are the problems that your service solves for a profit? Go ahead and make a list of those. Oftentimes people think, well, I'm just going to sell my coaching. Guess what, folks? Nobody gives a shit about your coaching. Nobody buys coaching. People don't wake up in the middle of the night and say, I need a coach. No, they don't. People buy 10 specific things. And unless your marketing message is aligned with one of those 10 things, they won't buy from you. So you need to understand what problems your profit solves, what problems your service solves for profit. And number two, what's the value of solving those problems, right? So let's say you're like a coach for moms with kids, with young children, and you help, parents discipline their kids and they get their kids to bed on time. And because of that, the parents, get their sex life back. They have a marriage again. What's the value of that? Right? So if you want to charge people $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, $25,000 for your services, you need to own the value. Right? If as a business coach, if I'm helping my clients make money, what's the value? Well, the value is they get to quit their jobs. They get to say bye-bye to bosses that they hate, to unfulfilling, jobs that some of them have been in for 20 years. What's the value of that? To show up to work feeling fulfilled every day, making a difference in the world, not just making money, but making a difference. We can't even put a price tag on that. I have no problem owning that. So this is why in our 10K and 30-day program, one of the first things that we have you do is an owning your value exercise, where we show you exactly, it's a 45-minute audio, and we take you through a process that allows you to see the bigger picture of how you doing your work with your clients makes this huge ripple effect. And you need to own that if you're going to stand with confidence when you're on the sales phone with your clients, asking them for thousands of dollars. True or true? So that's the first key. Understand the problems your service solves for profit. Understand the value of solving those problems and own that. Second key, certifications versus experience. I just posted something in our Facebook group. It said that, 80% of billionaires don't have a college degree. And I posted that quote and I said, TikTok, TikTok, what are you guys waiting for? So let me ask you a question. If you need to get surgery and you had a bullet wound, you got hit, and you were bleeding to death, and you had the option of going to get, fixed by this guy that has been in the trenches in Bosnia sewing people up for 20 years, or this guy that just graduated med school with very little experience, which one would you choose? My guess is that you would choose the person with a shit ton of experience. And it's the same thing with coaching consulting. If you have a deep background experience, that is going to trump certifications day in and day out. And that's how you need to look at this. A lot of the coaches fall into this, oh my God, who am I? And one of the things we're really good at here is showing people. Yesterday we had this on a call, I did a 3-hour live Q&A. And it was so interesting. I find these relevant, themes. It's really interesting to work in a group dynamic and to see how a group moves and to catch themes. And the theme was, well, I've been doing this job for so long, and now I'm going to transition and offer my service in this way. And, I don't know if I can do it. Who am I to do that? Maybe people are going to think, I'm a fraud. They're not going to, I'm like being a traitor by shifting my offer and my focus by 5 degrees to the right. And I said, well, what if you, instead of, having this perspective of, oh, I'm a traitor, or I'm not good enough, I'm doing something new, I don't have the confidence. What if you just said, hey, look, I've been in this industry doing this for so long. And use it as a step up, as like a platform, and say, and because of that, I've had so many people ask me for the service. And finally I realized, why don't I listen to the masses and offer that service? And wow, people take me up on it and it's amazing. And now I'm offering it to you. So a way to take your experience and use it as a step up, and now package it in, 5 degrees to the right, and offer it to a new audience for more money. I mean, isn't that what you're doing in a job? You're working for somebody that they're paying you $20 an hour or whatever it is, $100,000, $200,000 a year, when you could be earning $200,000 a month with, by packaging what your wisdom and your experience, and serving a different audience. So certification versus experience. I want you to think about that. Who can use what you know? Who would find what your experience and your wisdom, and who would find it really valuable? And then, let's get you attracting that audience on Facebook. We can help you do that. That's what we do in our 10K and 30-day program with our $5 a day Facebook ad. Again, I'm going to drop here the website for you guys to check out. If you're joining me and it's the first time, let me know that you guys can all hear me and see me. I see a bunch of people joining me. Let me know if you have any questions, of course. I'd love to say hello to you guys and answer any questions that you have. I'm going to drop the link to our website so you can check out some of the results our clients get. And the third key, finally, to stopping, this feeling like a fraud is to shorten, understand the value of shortening a learning curve. So when somebody goes to hire you as a consultant or hire you as a coach, what they're actually paying money for is to shorten their learning curve. And think about this. If you are, let's say, a health and wellness coach because maybe you were overweight one time and, or maybe you were pregnant and you had to lose weight and you struggled and you bumbled about and you bought all these books and you watched these DVDs and you hired a few people and, and now you've come to this wisdom. What's the value of imagine if somebody came now, here's your whole learning curve and you're here. And instead of somebody spending 5 or 10 years here, they just hire you, right? They just hire you now and you give them access to all of these nuggets that have taken you maybe 5 or 10 years or 20 years to gather. We have a lot of our clients in their 40s, 50s, some of them in their 60s, women in their 70s. There's so much wisdom you have to give. You just have to learn how to really market it and stop being so overwhelmed by, online marketing. Lean in and learn, technology, how to reach your clients, because there's so much value in the wisdom that you've garnished and you need to charge for that. How much have I invested in myself to get here where I am today? Easily over $500,000, $1 million. Easily. Was over a couple $100,000 just last year that I invested in myself. Forget about what I invested in the business. So you need to charge for that. You need to charge for all of that, all of those years. Think about it, how much you've spent going to these events. So those are the 3 keys, guys. Number 1, understand the problems your service solves for profit. You are as a coach, you're not a coach, you're not selling coaching. You are a paid problem solver. Get your head around that. You're a marketer first and a salesperson, and then you're a coach. It's marketer first, a salesperson, and then you're a coach. Especially if you're brand new, you got a lot of learning curves before you actually get to start coaching people. Understand the value of solving those problems. What is the value? How much money, how much time, how much frustration does it solve people? Does it help people? Does it solve for people? What's the value of that? Number 2, certifications versus experience. People want your experience. You need to charge for it. Because number 3, it shortens the learning curve. And those are 3 keys to help you, stop feeling like a fraud. This is a huge gremlin, a huge mindset piece. Vivian's got a question here. I'm going to answer it. Vanessa, I truly love and respect you, but I know I literally do not have access to the cost of your program. Even if I got a loan, the max is $3,000. Your program's more than that. Do you have any introductory program? Just like I'm an LMT and an artist stepping into coaching. We've had a lot of photographers, artists, LMTs. To me, it sounds like either you're doing some kind of therapy or tapping or Reiki or something like this. And I have to be honest with you, Vivian, I've been in this game for 10 years, and thank you for your question. And it's a really honest question. I love the way that you approach it. And I'm going to answer you very honestly. I've been in this game now for over 10 years. I've tried a lot of things. I've had the privilege of seeing what works and what doesn't work in the marketplace. Licensed massage therapist. Yeah. LMT. Do you know I used to be a massage therapist? I used to be an acupressure massage therapist. And then I moved into law of attraction, and that got me into coaching in the online world. And I love massage therapy. I love helping people, but I was like maximum earning like $30 an hour. Even if I did it on my own, it was like $60 an hour. So here's the deal. These lower end programs, we have something like that, but I'm going to be very honest with you. They don't work. And the reason they don't work is because part of the issue that I'm describing today, charging what you're worth, has to do with you and your concepts of yourself, your own beliefs about yourself. And your mind, your brain is made kind of like a computer, okay? A computer cannot delete its own files, okay? The computer's going to say, are you sure there's going to be an activist? Somebody's going to use a computer and say, I want to delete this file. And the computer's going to say, are you sure you want to delete the file? Are you sure you're going to want to delete it? Are you sure? Are you sure? Then yes, delete. So if you're just watching, consuming videos with nobody there to support you, with no human element of support, you're going to be just as stuck. Only now you'll have a bunch more information and feel even more overwhelmed because you will be blocked at implementing it. And that's why our program costs so much, because some months it costs me, $97,000, $100,000 just to pay my team. They're experts. And that's why you see so many people getting amazing results, because you get to work with my Facebook ad expert, you get to work with my videographer, you get to work with my copywriter. Most coaches can't afford $30,000 a month, $20,000 a month to pay a sales specialist, to pay a 7-figure business earner, to pay a strategist, to pay an online marketer. You just don't have those resources. So I've put a team together. I pay for them, and I lend you my team for 8 weeks. And that's why you see people, having such amazing results. And, just to show you guys something, so what I would suggest to you, Vivian, is I would start working on your mindset. And instead of saying it's impossible, start asking the question, how can I? Because if you think that you're going to succeed as an entrepreneur in any vein, you better have a resourceful attitude. And I can tell you, even right now, I bought a house in Mount Shasta, California. I'm shopping for internet, high-speed internet. I need video streaming quality internet. AT&T doesn't provide it, all these different providers. And it's like a house in the woods. And, here I am again, like I am persistent I will get what I want. I will not take no for an answer. And that's exactly the same way you need to be. And that is not, that's not just for coaching. That's for entrepreneurs, period. You are going to have to think outside the box. You're going to have to be innovative. You're going to have to be, creative, and you're going to have to never take no for an answer, because everyone's going to tell you no. Shit, even your friends and your family tell you no. They tell you, oh, you can't do that. You can't do this, and rah, 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 rah. So, what I recommend is I don't need to reinvent the wheel and make a new program. You need to find a way to get the money together. And I'm so happy you're asking this question. We had another lady also recently asked a similar question. And I told her the same thing. Make a list of 50 ways to get the money, and ask your brain, hey, how can I get the money? How can I? And that's what you really need to focus on. And while I'm talking about this, I'm going to share with you, this is something that I posted in our group, the Bikini Business Breakthrough group over here. And this is a woman, a client. She was almost graduating the 10K in 30-day program. She says, hey guys, I launched my business last week and have made over $7,000 so far. I'm headed to 10K in 30 days for sure. I want to say a huge thank you to Megan, who is our head mindset mentor, walking me through the paralyzing fear that I dealt with the first few weeks. Okay. Everyone's terrified. And the rest of their team for their hard work. Vanessa, you're an inspiration. I only have a little more time with my program, but I'm beyond excited to see what the future holds and everything I've learned in this program. You ladies are unstoppable. Everything you need is already inside of you. You just have to let it out. How would it feel if you could launch your coaching business and in a week generate $7,000 in sales? How would that be for you? What would you do? I mean, how would that change your life? That's the result of having a kick-ass program like I have, with a kick-ass team like I have, to support you with content. Content is just content. It's not transformation. It's just information. So Vivian, I love your question. I will not make a cheaper program, because I'm actually in the business of getting people results. And you know what? All of these people that are selling these cheapo programs, they won't be in business for very long, because they're going to come up against, the reality that information doesn't lead to change. Transformation does. And transformation happens when you work with people. That's why you can still talk with me in my program. You get to ask me questions every week. Imagine that. You actually get to talk to an expert. Oh, wow. And I mean, I have to tell you, I get a little bit snarky about this, because, I have had conversations with people that have, told me, I invested $27,000 with this person, and all I got was a bunch of videos, and, no one to talk to. And there's so much of that out there in the marketplace. And it's really giving coaching a bad rap. Hey, Bethany, what's up, Bethany? Happy Tuesday. She says, hi, I live in the woods and I need high-speed internet to advance my work. So let me know what you find. I have my clarity call today. So excited. Woohoo. Right on, Bethany. She goes, I'm ready for the support team. Fantastic. Right on. I will let you know what I find. I did actually find a company in Mount Shasta, and I left them a message. You know, there's always this quote, another quote that I love. So let me know if you guys have any other questions about this. I'm going to start ranting now. You know, people are always, always saying, oh, I'm an overnight success. It just took me 20 years to get there. I was an overnight success. People see the progress, the progression of this company, and they think, oh, wow, Vanessa, you've grown so much in the last 3 years. But what they haven't seen is the 10 years before that and the 10 years before that. And what's happened in those 20 years is a decision to, do or die, get what I want, or die trying, figure it out. And so I invite you, each and every one of you here, to take on that mindset, because that is what will give you the results that you want. Persistence. And I promise you guys, everybody here, if you have that mindset, if you're showing up and you're going to say, you know what, no matter what, I'm going to do this, I'm going to find a way. If you do that, I guarantee everybody here can make $10,000 a month. You will find a way. You absolutely will, but you have to keep that door open. If you've already decided that it's impossible or that's too hard for you, you'll not be available for the opportunity. Your brain, there's a reticular activating device in your brain. Okay? I did a lot of study on the mind. I studied the law of attraction. I studied Napoleon Hill. I studied Neville Goddard. I studied Joseph Murphy, Joseph Campbell. I studied the release technique. I mean, I really went to town on the study of consciousness, how we can program our subconscious minds. So your reticular activating device is this little thing in your brain. And it's kind of like when you want to buy a red car, all of a sudden you see red cars everywhere. They were always there, but your brain, which digests like 17 billion bits of information per second, wasn't organizing the information in a way that it would alert you when that thing was there. But now it is. So now they're there, but they've always been there. You understand what I'm saying? So if you want to now change careers and become a coach that earns $10,000 a month, first of all, you've got to alert this reticular activating device. Hey man, it's possible. I'm doing it. And what bits of information do I need? Let me stay open for those. All right. And then you will start seeing opportunities, coaches, people, money, right? But not before. And people, especially spiritual people, and, you're looking at one. I lived in Kauai, Hawaii. I spent many years on, my own spiritual adventure, trusting the universe, praying, hiking in nature, living out in Kalalau in Hawaii, Sedona. I traveled to Costa Rica. I took a lot of risks and chances to trust the universe, to really understand, the relationship between our own consciousness and what we can create. So, I'm not very confident. It's something that I own. And, where was I going with this? I'm going to have a sip of tea. Wait for it. It'll come back. So, programming your mind, making the decision, the commitment, and the expansion. There's 3 keys to really changing your life. And a lot of spiritual people get confused because they think, well, God's going to judge me and so is judging me. And everyone is living in this bubble of fear that they're not worthy, they're not ready, they're not deserving enough. And that's just a decision away. You can change that with a decision. People are just not educated about that. And so a very big part of my work is here, really to educate people about how to take their power back from their mind, from fear, from the teachings of their past, their family, right? And to make a decision. That's when you make a decision, you kill off all other opportunities. And then you got to make a commitment. If you want to, travel to India, you got to buy a plane ticket. You got to commit, right? And then and only then does all of the expansion happen. Then your reticular activating device opens and says, oh, radar is open for this thing we're doing now. We're going after 10 grand a month. Okay. Show me everything that I need. And then you walk into that expression, that manifestation. You create that opening, but it first starts with a decision. So best thing you can decide for yourself is, hey, I'm totally worthy and deserving. This is one of the best affirmations I started my business with was, hey, I'm totally worthy and deserving of extreme wealth, joy, and romance. I'm totally worthy and deserving. I am totally worthy and deserving of extreme wealth, joy, and romance. And I invite you guys to keep that as a mantra, to use that as an affirmation every day, and to use it as a new filter with which you walk into your life with. Try that on for size. Next time you're in the store, you're going to buy the purse, buy the shoes. You're going to lean in instead of pull back and think, oh, I can't afford it. I can't do it. You're going to say, no, I totally deserve it. I'm totally worthy and deserving. And you're going to show up in that expansion, and that's going to continue perpetuating. How do you find the balance of, oh, shiny and trusting that something was put in front of you for a reason? How do you find the balance of, oh, shiny object and trusting that something was put in front of you for a reason? That's a great question. Well, it depends on, hey, what's up, Janice? It really depends on what your beliefs are about creation. So my belief is that we all come into this world with a purpose. Life squeezes us to make, certain jumps to get us into this fulfillment. And we're battling with this like reptilian old, oh my God, I need to be safe. I need to control things. I need safety. I need approval from everyone in order to be loved. And those are tricks that the ego uses to pull us out of this loving expansion, beingness, giving, having, bright magnet into this closed down, hiding out, lonely, angry, frustrated, unconscious being. And so how do we bridge that gap? How do we always come back to being loving and being this attractive force and being an expansive being in the universe? And then how do we implant into our subconscious mind the beliefs that will express, because that's not Vanessa Simpkins making a opinion. That is physics principles that govern reality here in like the law of gravity. No one says, oh, that's not true. Everyone says, well, of course it's true. It's hello, ding dong. If you jump off the roof, you fall down. You need the car now can run on gasoline. It can run on other things, electricity, but there are certain laws, like we breathe oxygen. So part of the balance is understanding what to really focus on. And if I'm impregnating my subconscious mind every day, let's say for $10,000 a month, I'm totally worthy and deserving of $10,000 a month, and then all of a sudden a client shows up, well, that's a direct manifestation. Or if all of a sudden something is in alignment, this person's going to help me do a funnel online, or they're going to help me with Facebook ads, and they're going to help me with my limiting beliefs, and that's perfectly in alignment, I'm going to lean into that. If it feels good, I'm going to lean into that. I think the problem people have is understanding, if it feels good, yes, I want it, but then that ego comes up again, the fear comes up. Well, what if you fail? What if this was just like all the other times in the past when you tried something, and you know what, your Uncle Albert tried a business and he went bankrupt, and all of that shit and noise and all of these old stories. Your past does not equal your future unless you neglect to clean up your damn past. Unless you neglect to close these energy leaks, and unless you neglect to start implanting new beliefs, you will always live out your past. So I hear what you're asking me, Bethany, and it's a great question. I think the question that you need to ask yourself is, what is really holding you back from trusting an opportunity to show up? And go and do some digging there. My 2 cents would be, it's probably a belief or an experience when you tried something in the past that didn't work, and now you made a decision about it, and guess what? That decision becomes a belief. So, hey, what's up? Adriel says 10K in 30 days has been life-changing, and I'm only halfway through. Woo woo! So much clarity and confidence. Jump and make things happen. Thanks so much. Thank you so much for sharing that with the audience here today. I love it when clients or graduates show up, and it's so fulfilling. And again, it's not just a business building program. It's first and foremost a mindset program. It's a helping you take your power back now program. And then once you're able to adjust, command, impregnate your subconscious, you can have anything. 10,000, just money, just one of the things that you're going to create, once you have the fundamentals dialed in. It's why you see a lot of our clients say it's the best thing ever. It's been life-changing. It really is. A lot of our clients buy new homes, buy new cars, leave bad relationships. They raise their standards, high standards. Enough of settling for crumbs. Enough of saying yes when you mean no. Enough tolerating, bad relationships and bad jobs just because of fear. This is why I got into business in the first place. There's a lot of people online teaching you online marketing, but we are, primarily a women's empowerment company. And then we're going to teach you some ninja marketing and sales on top of that. And you'll actually be able to implement it because you don't have the self-sabotaging beliefs of, it's not safe for you to have a lot of money. Well, if you succeed, then your mother, sister, father, brother will pull you down. It's not, if you didn't have a negative belief about you having what you want, you would have it. I want you guys to chew on that. If you didn't, because this is the principle, law of gravity, we breathe oxygen. If the principle that governs life is that whatever we believe we express on this plane of reality, and you don't have what you want, then what in the hell are you believing that is contrary to that? That's the question you should be obsessed with. And so we teach our clients the real, tangible, step-by-step tools for how to go digging and mining inside your mind and uncover these old limiting, what I would call gremlins. And then, and it's not your fault. No one's taught you this stuff before. No one taught me. I had to go and spend, holy smokes, I spent years learning from people oh my gosh, I went to events. I danced around a freaking fire all night long. To transform my emotions, I hired people left, right, and center. I read books. I watched movies. I mean, you're looking at 20 years of non-stop, balls to the wall, persistence, do or die, I'm going to figure this out, attitude in action. And what I've created is really the best program for spiritual women entrepreneurs. It's called our 10K in 30 day program.com. You scroll down, you'll find a link. You can check it out. You can find it on our website as well. Check out all the results that we're getting for women. And again, it's because, I'm teaching you this very specific, I'm a conscious creator process. It's three steps. Number one, how to take a radically honest look, radical honesty, how to take a radically honest look at, open up your brain and say, oh shit, look at that. That's in there. I have this belief in there that I'm not good enough. I'm not ready yet, whatever that is. And then take radical responsibility to turn that around, to put something else in there. Because you know, a thought creates a feeling. And then from that feeling, you either act or you don't act. Now you can affect that. You can change that. So we show you how to do that. And then you have radical self-love to have the discipline every day to put in new thoughts. What's a belief? A thought that you keep thinking in a very strategic, effective way. So it's using spirituality and metaphysics in a very structured way to focus on the 20% that's going to give you that 80% of the result. That's going to give you the ability to show up and finish what you start. That's going to be able to help you be visible and do videos when you don't feel like it. That's going to be able to, you know, be the person operating the computer that says, delete that old file, delete, delete, delete. We're really empowering you. And then once you graduate, great. Start creating, man. Money, just one of the things that you're going to create. One of our clients here posted recently, a graduate, she said, I wanted to make, you know, I wanted to make all this money. My husband quit his job, retired my husband, and bought him a truck, and I bought myself a brand new BMW. Wow, fantastic. She's got 2 kids. You know, her husband lost his job, and, you know, he's been helping her with ads. They're having a grand old time. Totally change your whole life. Totally change your life. A lot of our clients, you know, one of our clients used this, this I'm a Conscious Creator process. She had 3 businesses. She wanted to sell one. They said, this is how much you can get for your business. She said, screw it, I'm going to make an intention. And she sold it for 4 times what it's worth. And she sold it, you know, within the second person who looked at her company for over $1 million. Pretty freaking cool. And then she sent me a text message that her coaching business had done over 100,000 in the last 6 months. So really exciting stuff, guys. And what about you? You know, what about you? Are you ready to stop feeling like a fraud and stop letting these old stories run your now, you know, your now life? Are you ready to, you know, create your new vision for success now in 2018 and stop letting it be run, stop letting your past be run by your future? Well, if so, I'm going to invite you guys to apply here. I'm going to drop the link. Connect with a member of our team, and they'll get on the phone with you and, you know, find out what is really holding you back from creating the life and the business that you say you really want. You say you're really committed to it, but really, are you? What's really in the way? Again, there's the link, takeyourpowerbacknow.com/10K ready. It's a free call. It'll take about 45 minutes and really sit down and have an honest chat with you. And if you're ready and you want our help, you want to work with me and my team, they may invite you to become part of the clients that we take on this month. They may not. I don't know. Some days we get, 30 people from all around the world applying. So there's the link. I'm going to drop it here below the video. And I want to thank you guys all for showing up. If you're watching here, even if you're tuning in to the replay, if you have questions, go ahead, pop them here in the video chat below. And I'll take a twirl every day in the Facebook and YouTube and answer any questions. I love you guys. You can do this. You can do this, and we can help you. Love to see you guys on the inside. Have an amazing day. Bye, everyone.